Hey guys, welcome back to one more video on the channel. In this video, we are going to discuss the questions that appeared on JEE Mains exam in the first two shifts of Jan 21st and the first morning shift of Jan 22nd. Alright, so I have handpicked few questions which I think are good questions in the exam. So some of them are difficult questions. We are going to solve them and learn the concepts. And some of them are tricky questions which doesn't even need a pen to solve the questions in the exam. Alright. So this video will be helpful for your April shift or for the upcoming shifts of the JEE Mains exam. So let us go through them. So here we have the first question. Let a twice differentiable function f of x on R such that f of 3 is equals to 18 and f dash of 3 is equal to 0 and f double dash of 3 is equals to 4. So this is the information given to us. Alright, now you have to evaluate this limit. This limit looks really scary, but these questions turn out to be really simple questions. You should not get scared to attempt these kind of questions in your exam. All right, so let us go ahead and solve this. So this is very much doable. So generally people get scared by seeing these kind of big expressions. So let us put x is equal to 1 here. So then what will happen? This part will become 1 and this part will become infinite. So it is, so let us say this whole thing is your p of x and this thing is q of x. If you have 1 power infinite form, then your limit will be e to the power limit x tends to 1 p of x minus 1 multiplied by q of x. Simple. Now if you just solve this very mindlessly, you will get the answer. Alright, let us try to do that. Let us find what this is. So this is f of x plus 2 minus f of 3. So I'm doing p of x minus 1 minus f of 3 divided by f of 3. Alright, and q of x is 18 upon x minus 1 whole square. So now if you put x is equals to 1 in this, so you will get a 0 by 0 form. Alright, an indeterminate form. So let us differentiate this. Let us apply L'Hospital rule. Okay, so in the numerator you will have 18 into f dash of x plus 2 divided by, in the denominator you will have f of 3 multiplied by 2 into x minus 1. Now if you put x is equal to 1, still you will have 0 by 0 form. So further differentiated, you will have f double dash of x plus 2 divided by 2 times f of 3. Now if you put f x is equals to 1, this is simply 18 f double dash of 3 by 2 f of 3. So that is simply 9 multiplied by f double dash of 3 is 4. It is given in the question, divided by f of 3 is 18. So this will give us 2. Alright, so this limit is 2. So therefore it is simply ln e square. What is ln e square? That is simply 2. And that is your answer. Alright, it is such a simple question. You just have to go and apply L'Hospital rule. Alright. Also at this step, why does this become 0 by 0 form? It is because in the question it is given that f dash of 3 is equal to 0, and when you put x is equal to 1, it will be f dash of 3 in the numerator. Alright. Now this looks like a little difficult problem. So you have a set S is equals to 1, 2, 3 and so on 50, where mn belongs to S. So you have to choose m and n, two natural numbers which belong to the set S. If p is the number of ways such that 6 to the power m plus 9 to the power n is divisible by 5. Alright, and q is the number of ways such that m plus n is a square of prime number. Let us say q square. Q is prime. Alright, so number of ways of this happening is p and number of ways of this happening is q. So now let us try to find out q first. Alright, so m plus n should be square of your prime numbers. So m plus n can be 4, which is 2 square, or 9, which is 3 square, or 25, which is 5 square, or 49, which is your 7 square, and that's all. It cannot be 10 square, it cannot be 11 square, because the maximum sum possible is 100. Alright, so m plus n can be 4, 9, 25 and 49. If m plus n is equal to 4, so the values of m can go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 to 4. So therefore, there will be 4 solutions here. Alright. Similarly, if m plus n is 9, we'll have 9 solutions. If m plus n is 25, we'll have 25 solutions. Alright. Sorry, I made a mistake. So if m plus n is 4, if m can take 1 and n can take 3, 2 and 2, 3 and 1. It cannot be 4 because then your n has to be 0 and 0 is not there in the set. So if m plus n is 4, you will have 3 solutions. Alright. And if m plus n is 9, you will have 8 solutions. If it is 25, you will have 24. If it is 49, you will have 48 solutions. So total, so 48, 72, 80, 83 solutions. So your q is 83. Now we have to find out the value of p. So it is given that 6 to the power m plus 9 to the power n is divisible by 5. Alright. So let us try to understand the problem a bit. 6 to the power 1 is 6. 6 square is 36. 6 to the power 3 is 216. So if you observe, the units digit of this is always 6. Alright. And now let us consider this. So 9 to the power 1 is 9. 9 square is 81. 9 cube is 729. 9 power 4, it has the units digit of 1. Alright. So the units digit of this is always 6. Plus the units digit of this is either 9 or 1. Okay. So in this case, your units digit will be 5. Alright. In this case, your units digit will be 5. If the units digit of 9 power n is 1, here units digit is 7. If the units digit is 7, the sum is not divisible by 5. The sum is divisible by 5 only if the units digit is 5. So this always has the units digit 1. Alright. So m can have 50 choices. Now n, this has to have a units digit of 9. So when does that happen? Only for odd powers of 9. So therefore n will have 25 choices. And the total number of choices will be 50 into 25. So that is 625 into 2, 1250. So this is the value of p. Now what are you asked to find out? P plus q. Your q is 83. P is this much. So this is 3, this is 3, this is 3, and this is 1. So this is your answer. 1,333. So you should, the conclusion or the takeaway from this question should be that you should not get scared by seeing these kind of expressions, and you should not get lost thinking as to how to know whether this quantity is divisible by 5 or not. So you just have to make some small observations like this. Just start writing. Let's just see what happens for the small powers of m and n, and then you will instantly get the idea. All right, so this is about this question. Now let us move to the next question. Okay, and this is our next question. You have to find the sum of the roots of this particular equation given to you. So now this is a trick question. This is not actually a, you don't need to solve this question at all. All right, so if you consider mod x minus 1 is equal to t, let us say, then this will become t square minus 5t plus 6 is equals to 0. All right, so you'll get two roots for this quadratic equation. Just by looking at the quadratic equation, you can say that t is equals to 2 comma 3. All right, so mod x minus 1 is equal to 2 or 3. So x minus 1, so x is what, 1 plus or minus 2 or 1 plus or minus 3. When you add all the values of x, so this plus 2 and minus 2 will get cancelled, so you'll have 2 here. This plus 3 and minus 3 will get cancelled, you will have another 2 here. So the answer will be 4. So you don't even, just because I saw the equation and this is a very famous equation, just by looking at it you can write the roots. I wrote the roots. But otherwise, let us say you have very big numbers here. You can observe that the sum of the roots is, the product of the roots is positive. Sum of the roots is also positive. Therefore, both the roots has to be positive. And then you can write mod of x minus 1 is equal to alpha or beta, and these two are positive. Then you can write 1 plus or minus alpha and 1 plus or minus beta as the roots. When you add them up, you will get this. So these things will get cancelled and your answer will be 4. So for this holds good as long as some product of the roots is positive and sum of the roots is also positive. All right, you don't have to solve this question. You can just look at the question and write the answer as 4. All right, such a good idea to get in the exam. And don't think these ideas are like very complex things to get in the exam. No, it's not that. So if you have enough practice, if you have good observation skills, these things are very easy to get. This is how you should exploit the weakness of the question paper. So in every question paper, there will be few questions which can be solved by exploiting the weakness in framing the question. All right, so let us move ahead and solve the next question. Okay, this is our next question. Again, I have chosen this question because I wanted to explain you few things. So alpha 2 1 2, and your matrix B is 1 1 1 beta. All right, now it is given that a square minus 4a plus 2i is equal to 0. B square minus 3b plus I is equal to 0. So this is not is equal to, this is a minus sign. All right, then you have to find the adjoint of a cube minus b cube. Okay, first, what is the formula for adjoint, det of adjoint? So that is simply det of a cube minus b cube whole power n minus 1, whole power n minus 1, where n is the order of your matrix. Here it is a 2 by 2 matrix, so it is 2 minus 1. So that is simply det of a cube minus b cube. We have to find out this. Now, we don't know what alpha and beta are, but we know these equations. So from Cayley-Hamilton theorem, if you know the equation, you can write the, like, let us say lambda is the eigenvalues of this matrix. Then the equation that satisfies the eigenvalues is this. And the equation that satisfies the eigenvalues, let's say lambda 1 is the eigenvalue of the second matrix. So then this is the equation that satisfies the eigenvalues. So now here A matrix will have 2 eigenvalues and B matrix will have 2 eigenvalues. From this quadratic equation, we can write the sum of eigenvalues as 4. And from this quadratic equation, we can write the sum of eigenvalues of the matrix B as 3. But what is sum of eigenvalues? You should remember all these facts about eigenvalues. All right. if you can put this equation, you can put this matrix into this equation and solve and find out the value of lambda, but that will take a lot of your time. You should not do that. So when this equation is given, according to Cayley-Hamilton's theorem, if there are two eigenvalues of matrix A, this is the equation that those two eigenvalues satisfy, and similarly for matrix B. So now sum of the eigenvalues is 4. What is the sum of eigenvalues? Sum of eigenvalues is nothing but the trace of the matrix. So therefore this is equal to 2 plus alpha and this is equal to 1 plus beta. I explained all of this and it took me some time to explain you all of this, but the moment I see this equation, I would have written the values of alpha and beta. So I wanted to stress on this point that you should know all these important results which will make your life easy in the exam. Alright, so therefore your alpha is 2 and beta is also 2. Now you have to find out a cube minus b cube. So a square is equal to 4a minus 2i. This is given in the question. So multiply it with a. So you'll get a cube is equal to 4a square minus 2a. Now this is 4. A square is 4a minus 2i minus 2a. This is equals to 16a, and here you have minus 2a. So this is 14a minus 8i. Alright. And now let us compute b cube. B cube is equals to, from here you can write 3b minus i. 3b minus I. Sorry, b square. B cube is 3b square minus b. So this is 3b into 3b minus I minus b. So here you have 9b and a minus b. So 8b minus 3i. Now you have to find out a cube minus b cube. What is a cube minus b cube? 14a minus 8i minus 8b plus 3i. So this is simply 14a minus 8b minus 5i. Alright. So 14, a is what? Alpha. So 2 2 1 2 2 2 1 2 minus 8. B is 1 1 1 2 1 1 1 2 minus 5. I is 1 0 0 1. So we have these. So the first term will be 14 2 is 28 minus 8 is 20 minus 5 is 15. The second term 14 2 is 28 minus 8 is 20 minus 0. This is 20. The third term 14 1 is 14 minus 8. That will be your 6. And the last term 14 2 is 28 minus 8 2 is 16. That is 12. 12 minus 5. That is 7. So it is simply 105 minus 120 is the value of your determinant. So this is minus 15. So this is det of adjoint of a cube minus b cube. So second option. The main point I wanted you guys to focus is finding the values of alpha and beta instead of putting the matrix into these equations and solving them to get the values. Alright. Okay, let us proceed to the next question. So this is our next question. Again, a pretty easy question, but I wanted you guys to make some observations here. So this is based on the cube roots of unity. Alright. So alpha and beta are the roots of the equation. This. So we know alpha is equal to omega, beta is equals to omega square. So now what do we have to find out? Alpha plus beta whole power 4, alpha square plus beta square whole power 4, alpha cube plus beta cube whole power 4, alpha power 4 plus beta power 4 whole power 4, something like this. So if you observe, alpha plus beta is omega plus omega square. So this is minus 1. We know this. Alright. Now alpha is same as alpha power 4. Yes or no? Alpha power 4 is omega power 4. So it has a cyclicity of 3 or a multiplicity of 3. Alright. This is same as alpha power 7. And this is same as alpha power 10. Alright. And similarly, beta is same as beta power 4. And this is same as beta power 7. correct? So similarly you can write alpha square is same as alpha power 5, and this is same as alpha power 8, and this is same as alpha power 9. And similarly alpha cube is same as alpha power 6, and this is same as alpha power 9, this is same as alpha power 12. I'm writing all of this for you guys to understand, but you should realize this in no time. All right, so basically alpha and alpha power 4 are same, so this term and this term are same. Beta and beta power 4 are same, so these two terms are literally the same terms. And similarly alpha is equal to alpha power 4 is equal to alpha power 7, so alpha power 7 and beta power 7 power 4, so these two are also same. And this term and alpha power 5 term will be same, this term and alpha power 6 terms will be same. So first three terms will be, so the first three terms will keep repeating. All right, so till where 1 2 3 is same as 4 5 6 is same as 7 8 9, and so on, it is same as 20 22 23 24. All right, so there are 8 pairs, so 8 into whatever you get for the first three terms. Here you will get -1, so that will be 1, plus here also you will get -1 -1 whole power 4 is 1. So here you will get alpha cube is omega cube, that is 1, beta cube is omega power 6, that is 1, so it is 2 power 4, so plus 16. So you are done till alpha power 24 plus beta power 24 whole power 4. Now this is the only term left. What is the value of this? So this is simply -1 whole power 4, so -1 whole power 4 is 1, so this plus 1 is your answer. So 18 8s 144 plus 1 is 145. All right, so the reason why this is an easy question, I understand I should not be solving this question in my video, but the thing that I wanted you guys to understand is, so you should know about the multiplicity. All right, so alpha is equal to alpha power 4 is equal to alpha power 7 is equal to alpha power 10. You should quickly realize these two terms are same, and I mean, like, this term is same as this term is same as this term, and this is same as alpha power 10 plus beta power 10, and similarly this square term is same as the 6th power term, and so on. All right, so that, I hope you have got something to learn from this question. So now let us proceed to the next question. So this is our next question. This is a very beautiful question that appeared on the test, very beautiful question. So let us solve this. You might not even get the idea, I mean, like, most people, so you getting the idea for this question is little difficult. So there is a limit, there is a summation, there is an integral part function, and there is an exponential function here. So a lot of things in a single question. All right, what we have to find out? We have to find out the value of f of x. Understand? Okay, now let us take this term and worry about that term first. So k square upon 3 power x integral part. So this is less than k square upon 3 power x less than or equal to k square upon 3 power x minus 1. All right, yes or no? So this is the thing that we have. Now this is the inequality, so this is the definition of greatest integer part function. Now let us apply the summation to this inequality. So summation of this is less than summation k is equal to 1 to n k square upon 3 to the power x summation k is equal to 1 to n k square upon 3 to the power x minus 1. So this is the very definition of the greatest integer part function. So we are just using the definition, basics. All right, so now if you observe, this summation is independent of x, so you can write 1 by 3 power x multiplied by sigma k is equal to 1 to n k square. And you know this value. What is this? This is simply the sum of the squares of natural numbers. So that is simply n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 by 6. Alright, here you have a sum, okay, less than, here you have that summation, and here if you check, this term is again 1 by 3 power x n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 by 6 minus, so this is just the summation of natural numbers, that is simply n into n plus 1. No, that's not the summation of natural numbers. These are simply ones added n times. When you apply the summation to this 1, you'll get an n here. Alright, now this is what we have. So this is k is equal to 1 to n, greatest integer part of k square upon 3 to the power x. Now what do we have? We have 1 by n cube. So let us do that. So here you will have n cube, here you will have n cube, and here you will have 1 by n square, and here you will have 1 by n cube. Now what do we have? We have limit n tends to infinity. So let us take this and calculate what the limit will give. Limit n tends to infinite. So 1 by 3 to the power x. So the numerator will be n square plus n multiplied by 2n plus 1 by 6n cube. So what will that give? That will give us 2n cube, alright, plus 3n square plus n by 6n cube. So 1 by 3 to the power x. So that will give us limit n tends to infinite. You split the numerator and denominator. 1 by 3 to the power x. Here you will get 1 by 3 plus 1 by 2n plus 1 by 6n square. When n tends to infinite, this term tends to 0. This term tends to 0. So what you have here is 1 by 3 to the power x plus 1. Alright. So here we have calculated the limit. Now let us calculate the limit here as well. So you have, okay, this value will be same as this value. Okay, this is the same limit. So, and when you apply limit to this, n tends to infinite, this becomes 0. So this side also you have 1 by 3 to the power x plus 1. 1 by 3 to the power x plus 1 less than or equals to this thing, f of x less than 1 by 3 to the power x plus 1. What does this say? This is just is this not looking like your sandwich? Alright, right? So your f of x is simply 1 by 3 to the power x plus 1. So you must have learnt this way of deriving a limit of a function in your NCERT textbook when you are preparing for boards, and that method was intelligently used in this particular question. Now what do we have to find out? This summation, j is equal to 1 to infinity f of j. So 12 times j is equals to 1 to infinite f of j. This is what we have to find out. So this is simply 1 by 12. When you put j is equal to 1 by 3 square, 1 by 3 cube, plus and so on up to infinite. So this is an infinite GP. So that is simply, the formula is a by 1 minus r. Your first term is 1 by 9 by 1 minus, your common difference is 1 upon 3. So this is the answer. So 12 multiplied by 1 by 9 multiplied by 3 by 2. So 3 ones, 3 threes, 3 ones, 3 fours, 2 ones, 2 twos. So your answer is 2. Alright, such a beautiful question. So you should never forget these basics of, like the basic definitions of functions and the basic methods of evaluating the values for limits. Alright, so that's all for this question. Let us move ahead. So now this is our next question. You just have to find out the number of solutions of tan 3x is equal to cot x. So this question can be solved in multiple ways. So you can write this cot x in terms of tan x. So then you'll have tan A this side and tan B this side. So for those things to be equal, you can write the formula for number of solutions. You can do all of that stuff. But why do you want to do all of that stuff? These kind of questions can be easily solved by drawing the graphs. And I want you to learn that particular technique of drawing graphs and solving these kind of questions. All right. So let us first draw the graph of tan 3x. Okay. So this is 0, this is pi by 6, 2 pi by 6, 3 pi by 6, all right, 4 pi by 6, 5 pi by 6, 6 pi by 6, 7 pi by 6, 8 pi by 6, 9 pi by 6, 10 pi by 6, 11 pi by 6, 12 pi by 6. So now here it goes to infinite. And after that, the graph will look something like this. This is how the graph of tan 3x looks like. Now cot x. How do we draw the graph of cot x? So let's do that with a different color. At 0, it goes to infinite. And at pi by 2, it goes to 0. So this is pi by 6, 2 pi by 6, 3 pi by 6. 3 pi by 6 is pi by 2. So this is 4 pi by 6, 5 pi by 6. This is pi. And this is your 3 pi by 2. And this is your 2 pi. Alright. So now cot x starts at infinite at 0 and goes to pi by 0 at pi by 2 and minus infinite at pi. And again it repeats the same way. Now they are asking us to find the number of solutions in the interval 0 to 2 pi. So 1 solution, 2, alright, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 solutions. So the answer is 4. So whenever possible, you can mess up. I mean, like, there is a scope of making a mistake if you are doing it through, algebraic manipulations. But when you draw the graphs, the roots will be in front of your eyes. You just have to count them. All right. Let's move to the next question. Okay, another interesting question. This question is very, very interesting. So there are a lot of questions like this in your Cengage and even in your NCRT, but I don't know how many people would have solved this question in the exam. So let alpha beta be the roots of the equation. So alpha beta are the roots of the quadratic equation x square plus 2ax plus 3a plus 10 is equals to 0. So alpha less than 1 less than beta. Alright, then set of all possible values of alpha is. So we have to find out all possible values of alpha. So let us try to draw the graph. So here you have 1. Since alpha is less than 1, alpha lies here and beta lies here. Alright. Now what can be done? Okay, alpha and beta are the roots of the equation. So this parabola cuts the x-axis at this point and this point. And since the coefficient of x square is positive, we know that this is an upward parabola. So it comes like this, cuts the x-axis at this point, goes down and cuts the x-axis again at this point. This is how the parabola looks like. Now, what can we do about this? So what are the observations that you can make? So this is the information given in the question. The important and a very key observation that you have to make here is that f of 1 is always negative. F of 1 is always negative. Alright. So that is the observation that you should make. It's a very clever observation. If you make the observation, the question is done in seconds. So f of 1 is less than 0. What is f of 1? Here, if you put 1, this is 1, this is 2a, this is 3a. So 1 plus 5a plus 10. So 11 plus 5a is less than 0. A is less than minus 11 upon 5. So this is your answer. So this is the observation that you should you must make. If you go about finding the discriminants and all of that stuff, it will only kill your time. So this is the thing that you have to come up with. Everything is there in front of your eyes. You know alpha, beta are the roots. You know one lies between them. You know it is an upward parabola. You can draw the graph. But the most important thing is writing this, observing this and writing this. And that's how you get a limit on the value of A, the bound on the value of A. All right. So now let us move to the next question. This is another fantastic question. Truly a very good question. Okay. So you have to find out the value of 9 plus 7 alpha minus 7 beta whole power 20. There is a high chance that you will get overwhelmed or maybe scared seeing the huge expressions given in the question, and maybe most people might end up leaving this question altogether or solving it incorrectly, or starting the question, starting to solve it, and must have left it in the middle of it, and that would have killed the time of many people. All right. So it is given that alpha is equals to omega and beta is equals to omega square. This is what is given in the question. So you have to be very smart when you are solving these kind of questions. So why did they give you such huge expressions? If it is a very difficult thing to compute such huge expressions, they will not put it on the test. The fact that it is there on the test and the expressions that are there in front of you are very huge itself says that there must be a trick to solve this question. All right. And what is the trick? And one more thing you should observe. These three terms look similar. They have 9, 7 and 7. 9 once and 7 twice repeated. But this term looks different. All right. And it is easy to compute also. This term is very easy to compute. Let us see what that is. That is simply 14 plus 7 into omega plus omega square. So this is what it is, and this is minus 1. So 14 minus 7 is 7. So this term is simply 7 power 20. The only thing we have to worry about is these three terms. And there is a very good symmetry that is there in the terms. There is only 1 9 and 2 7s. What does that indicate? So this is the question that you should get on your mind. All right. See, let us put the value of alpha. 9 plus 7 omega minus 7 omega square whole power 20 plus 9 omega plus 7 omega square minus 7 whole power 20 plus 9 omega square plus 7. When alpha and beta are there in the question, you might not be able to see the pattern, but once you write all the expressions in terms of omega and convert these two variables into a single variable, which is your omega, you'll be able to see the pattern actually. So what is this term? It is just a multiplication of this term. Let us say this term is A. All right. So when you multiply A with omega, you will get this term. And what is this term? It is simply A omega square. All right. So first term is your A to the power 20. Second term is your A omega whole power 20. And the third term is your A omega square whole power 20. So A to the power 20 will be common. Here you have 1 plus omega power 20 plus omega power 40. What is omega power 20? Omega power 20 is nothing but omega square. What is omega power 40? That is nothing but omega. And what is this? 1 plus omega square. That is simply 0. So the sum of these three terms is 0. And we are done with this question. So this is 7 power 20. And what are they asking? The answer is m power 10. So m power 10 is equals to 7 power 20. Power the whole, take power 1 by 10 on both sides. You'll get m is equals to 7 square, which is your 49. And that is your answer. This question is all about making the observation that these three terms are similar, and one is A and the other is A omega and the other is A omega square. All right. So now let us proceed to the next question. So this is our next question, and I will leave this question to you as a homework. Let me know your answer in the comment section. So if you like the videos that I'm making, do not forget to give them a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe the channel for more such content. And I have attached a link to my Telegram channel in the description. Make sure you join the channel. There are a lot of fantastic videos on the channel. Make sure you check them out. I'll meet you in the next video. Till then, take care.